Hey everybody, it's me, Bauski, and you're here watching another Shoutcast. Why are you doing that when you could be doing so many other things in life? Look at me, I'm doing other things in life. I'm sorry. I'm in a weird mood today. Just wanted to do another Shoutcast. Thanks to Revangale for posting this up on our castit. If you don't know what our castit is, brother, um, it's a sub. Why are you pinging? Why are you pinging? Oh shit. Ignore the time. You didn't see anything. Why are you pinging here? What's here? Anyway. Back to the game. If you don't know what Rcasted is, it is a subreddit on Reddit. Reddit.com/r/casted. Where Starcraft 2 players send in their replays so that amateur casters like me, who do a rather shitty job, can cast their games, post it up, and yeah, everybody has fun. Casters have fun practicing casting. Players get to see their games casted by horrible people like me. I'm a horrible person. Might have slapped a little baby today. Might have not. I can't tell you. Might be casting this naked. I'm sorry, Revangale. I don't know. Could be the truth. Really? Might have just showered. So could actually be naked. I don't know. I'll let you guys yeah, imagine it. But yeah, if you've ever want your games casted, or if you want to ever start casting, that's a great community to go to. Start practicing. There are a lot of friendly people, a lot of good instructions on how to get started, etc., etc., etc. That's enough of that. Let's get on with the game. We have the lovely map Starstation, which is rather huge map for 2 players, but you have 4 different starting points. So, you know, Revangale doing a great job cross scouting first for the, or cross spawn scouting first, because that's it can happen a lot. And you know, the cross spawn is the longest spawn, so you want to get that out of the way first. Way to go. He's seen everything. He's seen the gas. He's seen the racks. He can probably guess that a Reaper's coming. Meanwhile, back at his base, oh shit, Revangale is doing the exact same thing. Have I even introduced the characters yet? The players? Characters, what am I saying? I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. No, I don't think I have. So, let's start from the middle of the map. Let's pretend nothing's happened. Reapers are out. They're gonna start fighting. But before they fight, let's introduce the players really quickly. On the bottom left is the blue Terran, we have Air. On the top right, we have Revangale. And the Reapers, did they not see each other? Is that what happened? Interesting. Well, the blue player's Reaper gets in first, Air. But some SCVs are sent along, and they're doing a good job trying to chase it along, but so far no good. Revangale sends his Reaper in, and now is doing the same thing, targeting on the gas guys, which is a great idea. Less gas is taken, the better. Air moving around some SCVs, trying to do some micromanagement. Tech lab going on this barracks. Reaper coming back home for Air, who's like, you know what? I would rather defend than have to deal with this shit. Reaper for Air now inside his base, and now it's chasing Revangale's Reaper around, who is getting hurt all sorts of ways and dies. Meanwhile, back at the base, 2 more Marines have been made, and a 3rd is coming down, as well as a CC and a factory. Air is also making a CC at this point. Oh no. And it's already at the base. This one SCV is just chilling, hanging out, has a kill on him. He's a stud. None of the other SCVs wants to mess with him. Air has decided, after killing Revangale's Reaper, to come in here and start doing his own little maneuvers. However, there are 4 Marines now, which is a very big number of Marines. And Air has to kind of run away again as more Marines pop out, and the Hellion starts making its way in as well, into the game. I mean, not in anywhere else. Like it's not like there's a room here or anything. And a starport, of course, is coming down. Nice defense by Revangale so far, and one of Air's Reapers goes down. Air just keeping his Reaper in the front here just for scouting purposes. I don't really. Huh. Okay. Alright, Revangale decides that air is okay to let him just kind of heal up there and leave. He sees what's going on. Revangale decides to ignore the Reaper and move on with his life. Meanwhile, back at home, Air has made a ton of Marines and is still continuing to not make any more. Well, there's one coming up, there's another coming up, and there's a third one here. And the Hellion gets a little scouting information, and he knows that there is a command center there, but, you know. Not necessary to... Whoa, that's really fast. That's very quick. Yeah. So Revangale knows that there's a second command center, and both people just kind of teching up to their regular bio stances, it seems like. Combat shield has already been upgraded, and now Stimpack is being researched for air. Meanwhile, at Revangale's base, we have combat shield skipped, and Stimpack going up first, and using that other gas to put up the reactor on the starport, as well as a tech lab on the factory for what I'm guessing will most likely be siege tanks soon. I can't believe this guy's still alive. Is this a different one? I don't even know. Didn't I watch the other one die? I don't even know. Air doing a different move here, getting the reactor on the factory first, but most likely just as a placeholder for the starport, which is going to go down, and if he wants, he can just move the factory over here right now and put the tech lab down, but, you know, whatever. Second reactor going off for the barracks, very usual scenario, more barracks going down for Revangale, and once he has those down, he will probably push the same kind of thing. And third CC already going down for Revangale, who is focusing a lot more on the econ. Air does not have the same kind of thing, and he scouts Revangale's first main natural, the front of his natural, just to see what's going on. Doesn't see quite much, and meanwhile, Revangale decides to do the same kind of thing, see what's up. Kind of see something, not much though. And both players keep on going with your gigantic production. Look at that, so many things. Double Medivacs coming up. No add-ons for Revangale's barracks just quite yet, but that early CC is going to be quite useful. 3 gases, that's all you kind of need if you're on 3 racks with 2, you know, engineering bays and starports, so no big deal. And 2 more racks starting to go down. Curious to know when these add-ons will go on. Air has decided this is a good time to start taking map control. Good idea to at least scout out there. And as we follow his army with 2 medevacs, he's just probably going to poke in his front and then maybe try to do a little couple drops if he's lucky. And I don't know. I think it's a very good idea. Very, very good idea. Let's go to Air's base. Let's go back to Air's base to see if he's adding on more racks. And yes, he is. And his command center is almost done as well. So this one's done and ready to start put in the first or the third. Air is checking that location just to see what's going on. Interesting scouting kill of a frickin' siege tank there. I don't even know how Air decided to do that, but with just a handful of Marines, he's been able to do a wonderful job just putting some great pressure on Revangale there. And now he's deciding to push in once more. The siege tank, however, is going to survive as Revangale does a decent defense and pushes away Air's attack. Meanwhile, at Air's base, Revangale has also done some kind of a drop. He loses his guys pretty early on as well. If we look at the unit kills and workers killed, though, Revangale is much higher up now with 5 kills. So his drop has done fairly better, and also killed a lot more workers. So, yeah, maybe we should have been watching this drop in terms of the other drop. But both players kind of working at the same pace. Still no add-ons for the other 3 racks. Nope. Add-ons finally going down, and another rack's going down. And the 4th refinery has been taken, and it will only be number of minutes before 2-2 starts being researched for Revangale. Meanwhile, back at airspace, 2 for the attack has started, and 1 for the armor has also started. And Air decides that this is a good time to start on the missile turrets as well, because you know what? Yeah, if you're going to be playing against Bio, you might as well put those missile turrets down, yo. 2 missile turrets on this side, 3 on this side is, I'm even curious to know if he's going to put one there, but with the sensor tower, he's going to be pretty freaking safe. Revangale back at his base is just kind of patrolling his front here just to see what's going on. Where did that scan go? I don't even know. Oh, it's at Air's front here, just for Revangale to know what's going on. Another possible drop is going from Revangale. Air does not see it. Oh, miss micro from Air, and he kind of loses a bit of a couple of medevacs there, and these Marauders are going to survive and are going to be detrimental to all of those tanks there. And Revangale still has his medevac here, but depending on where he's going to drop, though, these missile turrets can be quite a pain, quite a pain. Medevacs from Air running back home as Revangale starts to push forward a little bit more as he takes his third and starts saturating it. Tons of money for Revangale here, who's probably going to put down a couple more barracks here, couple more add-ons that I can see. And back where the action is, we have Air pushing in at a very interesting point, but 4 siege tanks is quite a big number. Taking them down though, losing a lot of Marines in the process, but with the attack upgrades, Air doing a pretty decent job. And what with so many medevacs, is able to finally push Revangale back all the way to his base. So if we look at the unit counting station, we have 3 siege tanks for Air so far, and 1 siege tank now for Revangale. 61 to 61 workers, 1 mule out for each, and does this kind of make you seasick? Motion sick? I don't know. Ha 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 ha. 21 Marines and 2 Marauders for Revangale. More Marines for Air. Air focusing really a lot more on the Marine tank position, whereas I feel personally like having a couple of Marauders really does help a situation of such nature. Medevacs once more being way ahead of the army and almost getting caught out in the middle of something. Nice interesting siege up here, and scan from Air just to see how many siege tanks are out for Revangale. Air decides to move back at this point. Never a bad idea to move back if it feels like you're attacking into something crazy. And Air decides to get a couple more Marines, and he is still up on the siege tank count. Nope, just kidding. Now they're even on the siege tank count at 4-4 with 2 more medevacs for Air. Neither player wants to really move out. A 4th has been taken with an orbital command. Not an orbital command. I'm sorry. A planetary fortress from Revangale. So he is very high up on the econ. In fact, I'm so curious at the income right now. Even with the extra bases, though, both of the players' mineral counts are pretty much the same. Gases are also pretty much the same. So really not much of a difference there. Coming back to the production tab, we have 3 attack going up for Air back at Revangale's home. 3 attack has not been researched, and finally armor 2 is being researched. Air is going to get armor 2 first, but Revangale will be close behind. And Marauders are getting concussive shell for Revangale, which will be interesting to see. Nice little drop maneuver here from Revangale as he moves into Air's third. There's a siege tank up here, but these Marines try to focus fire down on this orbital command, decide not to. Meanwhile, Air decides this is a great chance to take down the planetary fortress 4th for Revangale, and now both players know exactly where the other players are, and now they start moving in to take care of business. Taking 1 siege tank down, Revangale moves back afterwards, and Air decides to move on back home at this point, as he's also taken a 4th over here, actually. But, yeah. So Air now in the position of having one more base than Revangale, but Revangale with a much bigger army composition, it looks like. Let's take a look. No, that's names. What does M do? That's music. R? Nope. A. Army supply. Here we go. Revangale with surprisingly a smaller army size, although it does look like he has a lot more tanks, 2 more tanks than Air now. Interesting kind of push coming in from both sides here. And yeah, we're about to see a nice little battle start up, y'all, as both players try to get into good positions. Revangale putting the tanks up at the top here, having a nice line. Meanwhile, also having a small incumbent force back in the bottom right there, bottom middle. I don't think I know what incumbent actually means. I just said it, but it doesn't make any sense that way, I don't think. Moving the siege tanks closer and closer into the enemy now. Close enough to start hitting this tank, apparently. And now, because Air was able to see this, he moves into the tanks from the side over here. Meanwhile, Revangale decides, fuck that, I'm gonna go and take care of the planetary fortress first. And he does so, and with all these Marines, Air is able to take care of all of the tanks now. But back at home, Revangale has also pushed in with that other force, but is dealt with pretty well by Air. Now Air moving in, trying to take care of Revangale's forces, surrounding him from all sides, and all of these workers have to go back. And Revangale, if we look at the army supply now, way behind Air with 114 for Air and 53 for Revangale. I don't know how he's going to have to handle this as Air decides to push in. This is his final death victory push coming in to destroy this planetary fortress once more, but Revangale not taking it and decides to start trying to defend a bit of it. Planetary fortress gets cancelled and the Marines keep on pushing through. Siege tanks kind of buffering his attack though, as they do slight damage against the Marines. And now all these siege tanks are trying to push in. And finally all of these marauders are taken care of. But now Revangale decides this is the time to push forward, but Air has already lifted up and started running back home at this moment. Air doing a little scouting just to check that Revangale has not taken his fourth quite yet as well. Both players still on three bases. Shh, don't tell Air about this one. Shh, very quiet, very quiet, very quiet. And yeah, both players trying to get up their armies again. If we look at the unit tab, we have Air with 4 more tanks than Revangale right now. So Revangale kind of down on the back of his ropes. I don't know if that's another saying either. I don't think that's a saying. And both players finally getting 3 armor. 3 attack has finished for both of them quite a long time ago. And not only does Revangale have to catch up on tanks, but also has to get the medevacs too. So he's put in a pretty hard position. Meanwhile, Air deciding to come in from the right side over here, about ready to take care of this 3rd base, and he starts ramping up here to take care of this tower. Siege tanks already siege up for Air, lifting up the orbital command. Ooh! Revangale's gonna have to be careful, but nice defense so far, not losing too many workers, not losing the orbital command. And even with the smaller siege tank count, he's able to keep everything in sight. Oh, losing a couple of Marines there for no reason, and siege tank. Sad day, but now Revangale decides to move his 3rd orbital into his 4th position, and his hidden base over here, and another base is being operated on. Meanwhile, while he tries to defend this over here, he moves in some tanks and some workers over to the Zelnaga Tower on the left side to start taking down these Marines. The Marines trying to get in a good position to take out the siege tank, losing the Losing the scan, however, and having to double scan, and finally takes care of the siege tank. Unit counting station, just looking at the units so far, we have 10 tanks now for air and 7 for Revangale. One thing that Revangale is leading in, however, is the Vikings, and so once everything else has been extended, used up, is what I'm trying to say, the Vikings will truly be a key in this thing. Oh, he's going to start losing Vikings, however, if he's not careful, but the Marauders and the Marines underneath are able to do some good damage, and the siege tanks are already sieged up for Revangale. And truly, this battle has gone quite his way. However, losing a couple of tanks there, but equally Revangale does some good damage against the tanks. And now he has an air advantage as he can use his siege tanks. I don't know why he scouted, because he really does have Vikings that he can use. But yes, because of these unknown hidden bases, Revangale is able to keep on pushing out more units. Great macro from both players as they continually keep on pushing out units. All of their money very low as they keep losing more and more guys on both sides. And if we look at the siege tank count, we have 9 to 5, still pretty low for Revangale. But again, as I say, the Vikings with their range can really help even this fight out. And now these siege tanks unsieged to get into a much better position to start surrounding Revangale's forces. Scouting helps Revangale see that air is coming into attack, and finally he has to move out as he loses most of his siege tanks, though. Meanwhile, Revangale sending more forces in from the bottom, and all of these Marines start taking down the 4th position for air once more, and air from the top once more starts pushing in, and these Vikings start damaging all of the medevacs. And sadly, there's not enough healing power from the medevacs anymore, and these Marines are on bot time. Bot time? No. Well, they're on a timeline. No. Deadline. Yep, and they all die. Well, you know what I was trying to say. And Revangale finally leads in tanks as well as Marines, and the Marines kind of push. Wow, no, just kidding. Look at how many Marines air has. Jesus Christ. These guys, they are not short on Marines, that's for sure. Interestingly enough, air only has 45 workers left. Where did all of his other workers go? We may never know. I wonder how much of the game I've missed in all the other sides. So yeah, Revangale on a lot more bases than air now. Air on 4 bases, Revangale on 5. So not a lot more, I guess. But both players still trying to take more positions and expand. And Revangale moving down now. Both players scanning about, trying to see good positions. But if air keeps on using scans like this, he's gonna be hard pressed to make the money he needs to keep on producing. And now Revangale has done quite a nice job of breaking down a lot of air's tanks. And now moving into an already siege position, Revangale is able to outmaneuver air once more and pushes in. And air calls him a noob and a pussy and is defeated. If I was Revangale, I'd stay after that and just destroy a couple more things of air's as well. You know, if you can't say anything nice, don't say anything at all. And if you have a map with 4 starting positions, you should really try to scout all of the bases, especially late game, all the time, because people are going to take them. But anyway, nice job to Revangale, nice maneuvering from air as well. I really thought both players did very well. Really interesting to see this 44 SCVs. I'm really curious to know what happened to all of his other SCVs. I guess they got killed when each time this base was denied by Revangale or something like that. So I think really what helped Revangale's case was that he just kept on making units, he kept on taking bases, and he was able to just in the end outproduce air. And although he may have lost a couple of engagements in the beginning, Revangale finally was able to do that big push that he needed, and air just wasn't able to defend. So Thanks for watching, guys, and if, like I said, if you guys want to start casting or want to be casted, be sure to check out reddit.com/r/casted, and if you want one of your games specifically casted by me, feel free to send me a line. Drop me a line at bauski.sc2@gmail.com, and I'm started working on a site. Yes, a site dedicated to Starcraft stuff. With articles and videos of casts and analysis videos and stuff like that. And you can find that at bauski.sc.tumblr.com. Yeah. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoy the video, and I will see you Sunday.